and today we'll be going through this series 100 most expected SLAT questions. And in this we'll be today looking at analytical reasoning, and this is part 3 of the series. So let's begin with our first question of the day. But before that, you guys can see a pinned comment in the chat. That is your CLAT counseling form. So if you guys have any queries regarding any of the products under CLAT, test series or mocks, classroom programs, live videos, live lectures, recorded lectures, feel free to connect with us using the by putting in your name, email address and contact number clearly. Okay. And let's begin with our first question of the day. The product of 3 consecutive odd numbers is 753207. What is the sum of these 3 numbers? Right? Okay. So 2 ways to solve this. One is using equation, which I believe is going to be very lengthy. I hope you guys are not very much equipped to solve cubic equations, right? So we will be using common sense here. If I say 243 is the sum of 3 consecutive numbers, so 243 divided by 3 is 81. 81 will be the middle number. The next 2 numbers are 79, 81 and 83. Now, if we multiply 79, 81 and 83, this will end in 9 into 1, 9, 9 into 3, 7. So the last digit will be 7, right? Which is 7. Let's check the other 3 cases. If we take 253 and if we divide it by 3, you will get a fraction. So B cannot be your answer. If we take 263 and if we divide it by 3, it will again give us a fraction. So 263 also cannot be an answer. 273 when divided by 3, this is going to give us 91 as the middle number. Before 91, obviously we'll have 89, and after 91, we will have 93. The last digit of the product of these 3 numbers is 9 into 1, 9, 9 into 3, 7. 27's 7. So this also ends in 7. Now, if I say each one of these, they are close to 90, then the product of 90 and 90 and 90 is 9 into 9 into 9, which is 729 followed by 30. So it's going to be 7,29,000. So we can say that our answer is going to be close to 7,29,000 and it will end in 7. If we consider here each of the 3 values to be like 80, 80 and 80, and if we multiply them, so 8 into 8, 64, 64 into 8 is 256. So this is going to be 256,000. So this is only 2,56,000, but if you look at the product, it says it's in 7,53,000. So definitely A falls very short of it. So only D makes sense. Right? Okay. Let's look at the next question. Ruhel bought a truckload of onions at rupees 20 each. He found that 20% of those were spoiled and hence were unfit to be sold. At what price per onion the remaining onions were sold such that Ruhel made an overall profit of 25%? Okay. So, again, 2 ways to solve this. One is if I say cost price of the onions is 20 rupees, right? And the number of onions that he bought was, let's say, 5 onions. So the amount that he spent or the total cost that he incurred while buying these 5 onions is going to be 20 into 5, which is 100 rupees. Now, he is supposed to sell them at a certain price. The number of onions is going to be only 4. Why? Because 20%, that is out of every 5, 1 onion was spoiled. So he ends up selling only 4 onions, such that his total sales should be a number which is 25% more than 100. Why? Because he needs an overall profit of 25%. So it should be 125. So what value into 4 ends in 125? Or can we say that value will be 1/4 of 125, which if you solve is going to be 31.25. So he is supposed to sell the remaining 80% of the onions at rupees 31.25, which gives us option C as the answer. Okay, next. A father divides an amount of rupees 65 among his three sons A, B and C such that their shares are in the ratio 1/4, 1/5 and 1/9 respectively. Find the share of C. So the first step is we will simplify the given ratio by taking the LCM. LCM of 4, 5 and 9 is 4 into 5 into 9. So A gets 5 into 9, B gets 4 into 9 and C gets 4 into 5. So A gets 45, B gets 36 and C gets 20, right? So options are 1/5 1800 से कम होना चाहिए, right? So either we can use a variable to solve it, or what we can do is we can, okay, let's use variable. So we can say that the amount that A received was 45x, the amount that B received is 36x, the amount that C received is 20x. So the total amount that they receive is 45 plus 36 plus 20, which is 81 plus 20, 91x, right? And this 91x is given as 65, which we can write this as, not 91, it's 101. So this gives us x is going to be equal to 65, right? So find the share of C. Share of C is going to be 20x, which will be 20 into 65. 65 into 2 is 130 followed by a 0. So 1300 is what we are going to have the share for C. Okay. Option A. Okay. Next. The total number of fruits in the 3 baskets kept in a fruit shop is 630. The number of fruits in basket 1 and 2 are in the ratio 2:3, and those of baskets 2 and 3 are in the ratio 4:5. Find the number of fruits in the basket that had the second lowest number of fruits, right? So if you look at basket 1, basket 2 and basket 3, from here, if we compare basket 1 and 2, we can see basket 2 has more number of fruits than basket 1, right? And if you look at the next ratio between basket 2 and basket 3, the number of fruits that exist in them, they are in the ratio 4:5. So the number of fruits in basket 3 is more than the number of fruits in basket 2. So we can say overall that the least number of fruits are in basket 1. Then you have second basket, and the third basket has the largest number of fruits. Since the question is asking us second lowest number of fruits, so this is indirectly asking us how many fruits do we have in basket 2. Now, looking at the ratio, the proportion component of the ratio, we can say that the basket 2 should be a number which is in the table of 3 and 4. Let's see how many options are in the table of 3 and 4. 225 is not in the table of 4. 242 is not in the table of 4. 238 is not in the table of 3. So 216 is the only number which is in the table of 3 and 4. The way we have used this, common sense, not using any equation and then using the options, you can see that this 630 turns out to be completely irrelevant, right? We really do not need how many overall fruits we had, because there is only one option which is in the table of 3 and 4 both. In other words, which is in the table of 12, right? Okay. Option A. Next, Satish, a painter, has 2 containers of paint solution. The first container contains paint and oil in the ratio 7:5, and the second container contains oil and paint in the ratio 13:7. For special purposes, Satish wanted to prepare a paint solution that contained paint and oil in the ratio 2:3. In what ratio should the mixture from the 2 containers be mixed to get the desired paint solution? Excuse me. So if you look at the first container, and if you talk about paint and oil, paint is 7, oil is 5. So if you look at this, total is 7 plus 5, 12 units. If you look at second container, oil is 13 and paint is 7. So if you look at this, this is overall 20. If you look at the average of both the containers, the paint part is 2 and the oil part is 3. So they are in the ratio of 2:3 and the total is 5. So if we add 12 and 20 directly, this is as in we can't add 12 and 20 directly, reason being that they are of we don't know the ratio in which they are mixed, right? So that 12 gets multiplied with something, 20 gets multiplied with something, and that results in the overall average. So in order to make the question easier, what we will do is we will take this entire thing and multiply this by 6, not 6, sorry, 5, so that we get 60 as the value. So we are trying to make every ratio in as the total of every ratio as multiple of 10. Next one, 20, I'm going to multiply this by 3 so that this also becomes 60. So from the first container, instead of 7 and 5, it will become 7 into 5, 35, and 5 into 5, 25. Similarly, from the second one, it will become 7 into 3, 21, and 3 into 3, 9. Sorry, 13 into 3, 39 hona chahiye. It's 7 and 13, no? So 7 into 3, 21, and not 3 into 3, it's 13 into 3, which is 39. So that they both are 60. Now, if I say that there are X units in container 1 and Y units in container 2, so let's look at either P or as in paint or oil, one of those, right? And the total will be X plus Y here, right? So looking at this, can we say the amount of paint in first container is 35 by 60 of X, and from the second container, can we say it's 21 by 60 of Y, right? And this is 2 by 3. Sorry, we should have added it. इसको ऐसे देख लेते हैं. The amount of paint is 35x. The amount of paint from the second one is 21y. The amount of oil from first container is 25x, and the amount of second container is 39y, and this is given as 2:3. So the amount of paint upon amount of oil, right? So if we cross multiply, we will have 105x plus 63y is equal to 50x plus 78y. If we rearrange, we will have 55x is equal to 15y, or we will have x by y is equal to 3 upon 11. So the ratio in which we have got paint and oil mixed, right, is 3:11, which is our option D. Are you talking about this one? Nay, it is going to be 3:11. Okay, Renu? Why did you, how did you get 101? Did you make any calculation mistake? Let me know. There is another way to solve this same question. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide myself. Next approach is called alligation. So what happens in alligation is you choose one of the two entities. Suppose I choose paint. So how much of paint do we have? Can we say paint in the first container we have is 7 units out of 12 units? Next, how much of paint do we have from the second one? Second container. In the second container, can we say the paint we have is 7 out of 20? And what is the paint we have in the average? So the paint in the average is 2 out of 5. So then what you do is you take the difference of first container and average container and second container and average container and write them as the ratio. So 7 by 12 and 2 by 5. So this is 7 by 12 minus 2 by 5. The next side is, since 2 by 5 is greater, so 2 by 5 minus 7 by 20. So this is going to give us 20 if I take. This is 8 minus 7 by 20. Right? 5 into 4 is 20. 2 into 4 is 8. Is 2. 12 into 5 is 60. So 7 into 5, 35. 12 into 2, 24. By 12 into 5, 60. So this results in 1 by 20 is to 11 by 60. So 20 and 60, this is 3 times. If you rearrange, you will get 3 is to 11. So this is another way of solving the same question. This approach is called alligation, where you put in the two values and the average lies in between. Okay. So I hope you got the other approach to solve the same question. Right? Well, you can avail up to 90% scholarship on our preparation program in SLAT. So on 17th of March at 11 a.m., that is tomorrow at 11 a.m., you can register for the scholarship test and avail up to 90% scholarship for our classroom programs. You can also kickstart your OLED preparation programs. All you need to do is download our app. The link to that is given in the description below. Once you download it, you can click on this button. You can get in touch with our counselor regarding the products, mock tests, classroom programs, everything. Also, you can kickstart your SLAT 2025 UG preparation program with us. Okay, this particular product, it consists of more than 380 hours of live classes, more than 300 hours of recorded videos, not hours, it's 300 plus recorded videos. Some videos may be of shorter duration, some videos may be of longer duration. 55 mock tests, right, for SLAT and OLED exams, along with video solutions. More than 10,000 topic-wise practice questions, more than 10,000 sectional practice tests, study material hard copy, doubt resolution within 24 hours, and SLAT Ignite monthly magazine for current affairs, which is very important, right? In case of any queries, you can get in touch with one of our counselors at the given contact number below. You can also pick our Law 2024 UG test series. The test series consists of 25 SLAT, 15 ILET, and 15 OLET mocks, right? You get unlimited access to all the mock tests. So that's a good thing. In case of any query, get in touch with one of our counselors at the given contact number. Do like the video and subscribe if you haven't, right? That gives us a very good boost as to bring to you more questions, more such sessions, right? Make sure that you check out our social media handles and pages, and do not forget to join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S_examprep_SLAT. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Take care. I'll see you again with the next part of the same series.